just wanna be her, from your mom to your pop to the beat to the bird, man. Cut right off on the curb, like I'm Barry Sanders. Chains on and the diamonds dancing. Game on, so it's time to go. When the rain starts, I'ma let you know. Name a squad that is better though than my whole team. We a pot of gold. I'm a dog. I'ma need a bone for my whole team. I'ma let it go like yeah, in the field like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like yeah, whole squad like what? In the field like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like what? Whole squad like yeah, in the field like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like yeah, whole squad like.
We're at the oldest continually operating stadium in the NFL as you get a look inside Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Arizona Cardinals and the Green Bay Packers. Both of these teams about to reach the halfway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
First carry now. This is Johnson. And not the start he was hoping for there, as he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Second down, Murray sets to throw. He'll hit Watkins on the crossing route. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. That goes for 14 yards, first down Cardinals.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this
rush coming, and he's taken down.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit, right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
They get a big amount back, 18 yards, but they'll still look at a fourth down now.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in fourth and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. He'll return it from the 6. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Packer drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. Yards and a Green Bay Packer first down.
I guess it's good we can't really read the mind of the defensive coordinator now, huh?
Had him pinned back there deep, give up that run. Can't be happy.
Yeah, whatever is in his mind right now, we probably couldn't say over the air.
A run on first down, but it's not going to get him much. Maybe a yard, and that's all. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
On 2nd and 9, Rodgers.
He's got a first down past the 30. Finally taken down at the 32-yard line. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46.
You're looking there at a defensive back who's maybe a step slower than he was when he came into the league a decade ago. I know I questioned his speed coming into the game, but what he's lost in speed, he's more than made up for it with intellect. And that's a great job of knowing how to position himself to make that interception.
They try to run on first down, but this defense says no dice. They stop him a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. And no luck at all to start this drive as they're going to drop him behind the line for a second straight play. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Here's Murray from midfield. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Kenny Clark in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. Here comes the Cardinals punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. That opening drive ended with the INT and didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
How about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Let's go, D. Big series right here.
On the delay, Jones gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
80 weapons.
That's a gain of 4.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. He's got his man, Valdez-Scantling. And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34. It's a big play that time for the Packers. 42 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Here's a run on first down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or 2. On 2nd and 11 now. Rodgers. And he checks this one down to Williams. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. That's the reason why. Well, we just saw shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play, one-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those too.
Oh, it's no good. Marr pushed it right, and this will remain a scoreless game.
It looked good when it left his foot, but he kind of sliced it a little bit, and he winds up missing it wide right.
They'll start with Hunt on the ground, and he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Murray throwing on 2nd down. Buying time to his left. He's going to take off with it. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Thanks to that last play, a little more room to operate. 1st and 10 at the 18. Now throwing on first down and completing it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. To throw, it's Rodgers. Got an open man, it's Valdez-Scantling. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Now Rodgers. This one to the right, caught by Valdez-Scantling. And he gets this down deep inside of Arizona's 15-yard line. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 44 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They go back to the ground with Jones. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 2 yards that time. A stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Rodgers firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. Throwing now is Rodgers. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. The sack by Robert Quinn. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage, or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the 2nd quarter now, and we do have our first points, a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
And feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
To begin the drive, here's a handoff to Hunt. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. 2nd quarter, 2 minutes remain, 3-0 our score. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. That goes for 14 yards. First down, Cardinals.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point at times. In other words, move your pocket to the right, to the left, roll him out, bootleg it.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And It's a good return here as he'll get all the way up close to the 35. They set themselves behind the chains, tried to get it all back in one play, and it backfired.
Didn't it feel like a pitcher working his way into a 3-0 count, right? You're behind. What do your coaches always tell you? Get it back one pitch at a time. In this case, they tried to get it back right away, and it didn't work out.
A really nice gain of 25 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick, and he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll work this back to right around the line of scrimmage and surrender there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. So we are at halftime here on Halloween as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Here's Rodgers. And Rodgers intercepted a third time. Picked off by Byron Murphy. Wow, between last week and this week, that's now 8 interceptions. 5 a week ago, now 3 here.
Well, he is so lucky that one of the defense coordinators I played for, a man named Ken Donahue, is not there right now. Because he saw that happen during his coaching career, and he grabbed the quarterback in the midst of a streak like this and said, tell you what, son, why don't you throw it to the defensive guys, and let's see if our receivers can intercept it.
Well, he's got to figure something out because the current formula is not working. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Murray's going to keep this himself on the RPO. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out.
Got it. Turkey's the mark. Come on. Come on.
On 2nd down, here's Murray. to the end zone, but it's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. They're able to hold him to 3 there, and that leads to a 4th and goal.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a 1st down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
And his kick here is good. And that will tie us at 3-3. They had it 1st and goal, 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds a little counterintuitive. But you run out of space to run the deep routes, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, there's just not as much space. You end up having to take 3 there.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. A pretty good-looking run there on 1st down. That'll go for 9 yards, just short of the line to gain. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up 2nd.
Again, it's Jones. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes, if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Rodgers finding Adams for a Packer first. Rodgers now 13 out of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a 1st down. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits, and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
And he will have the 1st down as he gets this to the 47. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. Still in search of their 1st touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Rodgers going to throw. And that's complete to Adams.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And it's incomplete, broken up. But there is a flag down. Let's see what that's about. So they decline it as that will bring up 4th.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you've got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it 4th down.
And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts. Space
to maneuver at the 40. A big run by Kareem Hunt, 43 yards. Trailing here in the third, and that run might just be the spark that this offense needs.
And don't you just get the sense that he's going around not just in the huddle, but looking over at the bench and saying, ball, give me the ball. Let me carry this thing home.
Now a run on first down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain followed by a sizable loss here. Now on 2nd and 13, Murray. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They fake the handoff. Now Murray. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cardinals. Nelson Aguilar, his first touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals have retaken the lead.
Boy, that route is really tough to cover because if they're running it correctly, you think it's really going to be a slant.
Yeah, well, we talk all the time about how it's tough to execute offensively, but you're saying, don't forget, it's tough to cover for the defense, too.
Yeah, the number one thing that you're taught is to not get caught inside or get beat inside. So you guard that a little bit more. So that gives you a little bit more space to operate outside if you start your move initially inside if you're a receiver.
And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they've got to make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Continues to be a struggle for this offense and this home crowd. They're growing a little restless here in the second half.
And I think they just got to look at how they're trying to move the football. Yeah, you want to run it, but maybe you spread it out, maybe some swing passes that can take the place of runs and give you a little more space.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. The Packers on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. Forced out to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. After the penalty, it's Jones. And he'll just plow right into a host of tacklers. Nothing there at all, and it'll be 2nd and 10.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. 14 yards, good for a Packer first down. Rodgers now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Throwing is Rodgers. Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. The loss of 3 on that first down pass play, now 2nd and 13. Now it's Rodgers. He's able to find Wallace. Great footwork, but still wrangled down before reaching the 20.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
This complete to Jones. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Packer first down. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Robert Quinn Able to take him down. It's a loss of 3. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down. Rodgers now to throw. Pass hauled in by the 6'4" tight end Sternberger. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. That catch good for 5. It's third down. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. To throw is Rodgers. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And here he'll get it down to the 7. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a fourth down. Rodgers to throw for it on 4th. His pass caught at the 4. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. Mike Tomlin takes a shot here, but to no avail. And that will force a turnover on downs. They'll begin the drive with Hunt. And a nice pickup as this one gets him to the 10-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts. And
keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be third and about a foot or 2. The battle in the trenches never more important than right now. This is 3rd and inches. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. They're facing a critical third down now as they try to hold on to this lead. They'll try to run for the first down with Hunt. And Hunt is not going to get there. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. Here comes the Cardinals punter now. And you wonder, could they possibly think about taking a safety here? This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
At their own 27-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. He finds an opening past the 40. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. A big run there by Jones. And even 70 yards.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Now Jones. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. Aaron Jones, his first touchdown on the year. And the Packers have retaken the lead. They get one more as the extra point's up and good. So it's now a 3-point game here in the closing stages as a field goal now can only tie it. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
The Cardinals take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base?
And it's a fumble, and the offense will get this one back. Boy, that could have been catastrophic at this late stage of the game, but they avoid disaster.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Jair Alexander.
And that one, Oh, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to go up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw, and it'll wind up being intercepted.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Good gain there on first down. It keeps them in a running situation, probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. The first carry now for the BYU man. It's Jamal Williams. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.